I'd like to call to order the City Council meeting for the City of Keokuk for May 17th, 2018. I apologize, we are 10 minutes late getting started, but we will carry on from here. So this is the call to order. Would you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm Susan Dunnick. Mayor Tom Richardson is not able to attend the meeting tonight, but as he would often request, with members of the gallery, please turn your cell phones off. All right, so we have in front of us the. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the roll call. May we have the roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. O'Connor.
Here.
Moore. Payne. Dave.
Here.
Hellenthal.
Here.
Mortimer.
Here.
Greenwald.
Here.
Bryant.
Here.
Dunnick.
Here. All right, and then as far as mayor's correspondences, we are moving the city council meeting of June 21st to June 22nd. And we will also be having a special city council meeting on May 24th, but that will be a closed session.
Point of order.
Yes.
The closed session is actually going to have a portion that will be open. I just want to make that because we're going to have a little bit of discussion on the item that was pushed from the workshop. So we'll have a small section that's open discussing the interview process for city administrators.
Okay. You're
candidates.
requesting that?
No, I'm just saying, just saying that the agenda will have that so that we don't discourage people.
Okay. Yeah. So it will include a closed session. How is that?
Yes, there you go.
It will include a closed session. And then also we have an event coming up on June the 2nd called Tombstone Tune-Up. And if you see this flyer, take time to read it and consider joining those out at Oakland Cemetery on June 2nd. That's a Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, and it's a work day. And they say bring your work gloves to help us realign and repair damaged stones in Oakland. And if you have any questions, it's Terry Altide who is coordinating this effort, and he has offered up a phone number of 319-795-9512. And this is sponsored by the Keokuk Parks and Recreation Board. Another item of note, on May 26th, the Keokuk American Legion Boy Scout Troop 43 is having a pancake breakfast and lunch, and it's going to be down at Victory Park at the Marodi, I'll get it right sooner. The Marodi Shelter. It's $6. It will help veterans and help to send Boy Scouts to summer camp. In addition to that, I believe, Mike, did you have something that you wanted to announce?
I just wanted to bring the public's attention, if they're not already aware, that this is National Police Officers Memorial Week. Began last Sunday. Actually, the memorial in Washington, D.C. was on Tuesday. But Memorial Day, the National Police Officers Week, is the week of the day that the Memorial Day is. It was established by John Kennedy many years ago, and recognizes our law enforcement officers that are out there 24/7 putting their lives on the line to keep us all safe.
Okay. The other thing that I'd like to mention, because we won't meet again before, well, we'll have that special meeting, but we won't have a regular meeting prior to that, and that is on the 25th is the Back Alley Band Festival, which is the Friday before Memorial Day, and please, that's just such a wonderful, wonderful evening. There's something for everybody, and that will be in the Cultural and Entertainment District, you know, kind of in this High Street and 4th and 5th area. So put that on your calendars too. Okay, now it's time for citizens' requests. Are there any citizens who'd like to address the council? All right. Then we'll move on to approval of the agenda, which would include the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now what I really need to do is to read the list on the consent agenda, right? We've approved the
Yep.
agenda, do I?
You can read through
it. Okay. So the consent agenda includes minutes of the regular city council meeting from May 3rd, 2018, the receipt of council reports, resolution of approving a liquor license for Keokuk Labor Fraternal Council, 301 Blondo Street, effective June 7th, 2018, a Class A liquor license with outdoor service and Sunday sales, a liquor license for the Keokuk Yacht Club, 2029 River Road, effective June 8th, 2018, a Class C liquor license with outdoor service and Sunday sales. Reappointment of Steve Selania to the Keokuk Union Depot Commission, effective June 1st, 2018, term to expire June 1st, 2022. Thank you, Steve. Reappointment of Tom Siebold to the Keokuk Union Depot Commission, effective June 1st, 2018, term to expire June 1st, 2022. Thank you, Tom. And motions to pay the bills and transfers that are listed on registers number 4996 through 4998. And that's just for the record, because the group here already approved it. Okay, now we have in front of us a motion to approve a funding request for Geode Fest.
So moved.
Second.
In discussion, would you like to say anything? Kirk, Director of Tourism?
Yeah, Kirk Brandenberger, Director of Tourism. And it's a great thing that we have taken back over the Geode Fest. It was run very well for 10 years by the Worthing Earth Searchers, which was a rock club out of Hamilton. And but they got tired, they lost some members, and there was fewer and fewer people to do the work. So they thought that we needed some more work. And so we gladly took that on. Geodes have become one of the most recognizable things to Keokuk. It's known as the Keokuk Geode worldwide, and so this is quickly becoming a home for the geode and a place that geode hunters from across the country want to come. So and we just needed some help with the funding of the first Geode Fest that we took back over, and so after this we feel that it will be self-sustaining, and we'll be rolling right along.
Great. Any other questions or comments? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have a motion to approve a special events permit for Main Street Keokuk Inc. 18th Annual Summer Fun and Fundraiser on Saturday, June 16th, 2018.
Second.
Any discussion?
This is always a fun event, and Main Street Inc. and Joyce Glasscock, God bless her.
And this year's theme, I happen to know, it's boots and bling. It's a Keokuk thing.
Boots and playing a Keokuk thing. Okay. Everybody
And
come.
I hear there's going to be a mechanical bull there.
Oh, y'all come.
I could be wrong. Okay, so, all in favor? Did I say that already?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Number 9 on our agenda was to have a public hearing to consider adoption of the comprehensive plan, but there will not be a public hearing due to not being published in the newspaper as a public notice. So that will be rescheduled. In fact, we will consider a resolution now setting a public hearing for June 7th at 6:30 in council chambers, 415 Blondo Street, Keokuk, Iowa, to consider adoption of the 2018 Keokuk Comprehensive Plan update for the city of Keokuk.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Just to say, Southeast Iowa Regional Planning will come down and just real quick, not the 1 hour version, but a real quick version of the comp plan. This is incredibly important. It outlines a lot of the direction of the city over the next, hopefully 5 to 10 years, depending on when the next comp plan is amended. So good document, lots of good information, lots of good feedback from the public. So I encourage anybody to review that, and I'm happy to share it with them either electronically or in a paper version. Hopefully not too many paper versions because it's about 200 pages. So.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Okay, now is the time and place for a public hearing to accept bids for the sale and transfer of 26 South 12th and 30 South 12th Street. A public hearing notice was published in the Daily Gate City on May 4th, 2018. I am opening the public hearing at 6:50 p.m. Open.
So this is this will be deja vu to a lot of people because we actually went through this, but we did not get any conforming bids because one individual who was particularly interested received the wrong date. So we went ahead and scheduled it again. He resubmitted. There's a very nice proposal in your packet if you hadn't had a chance to see it. I've also got a paper copy here for you to look at. It's Carl Morgan. He's proposing to turn that space, which is two dilapidated buildings, into a pool hall that will have 10 tables in the two buildings, dartboards and seating. It says the bar will serve only beer and wine. He's working with Joyce Glasscock. He has drawings of what the facade of the building will look like and the work that he's going to put forward to that. So a huge improvement, I think, for the community in that space. And the final offer, I think it was $1,000. Obviously, he's proposing bringing it up to standard with all the various issues, obviously with the windows, electrical, and HVAC and plumbing. So it's pretty much a gut job, and then replacing with the pool hall.
Are there any other comments? Madam Clerk, have we received any written comments?
No, ma'am.
All right. There being no more comments or objections on the matter, I will close the public hearing at 6:52. Now let's consider a resolution disposing of municipally owned real estate located at 26 and 30 South 12th Street.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now's the time and place for a public hearing for an amendment to the FY 17-18 city budget, meaning the one that's coming up on June 30th. A public hearing notice was published in the Daily Gate City on May 4th, 2018. I am opening the public hearing at 6:53 p.m. Opening the hearing. Are there any comments?
If you look in the packet, there is a certification of the amendment to the 17-18 city budget. I'll just run down the amendments by function briefly and bring up anything that comes specifically to mind in those sections. So public safety is $72,900 is the amendment on an overall budget of over $5 million, so a very small amendment in that class. Public works is a $109,514 to an overall budget of $1.8 million. You figure that's a pretty small change. This just goes to the fact a lot of the departments did a very good job of staying within their budgets. Some unforeseen capital expenditures that cross over fiscal years. A perfect example is we're doing some work on City Hall here to fix the plaster out front and fix the doors that are kind of rotting off their hinges on City Hall. And it's debatable whether we're going to get that done in this fiscal year. So that's another example of a project that just happens to go over. Whenever you're dealing with contractors and bidding, sorry, John, it can be a little.
I was going to say.
It can be a little difficult. I'm picking on him specifically. So that's where a lot of these amendments come from. Culture and recreation, we've had that had a larger amendment. That's $486,051 to that one. Again, all of these fall under unanticipated grants, unanticipated economic development expenditures, capital project delays pushing expenditures beyond the end of the fiscal year. So for instance, in culture and recreation, one of the things that's been in there that's driving that cost for the amendment is the great work of the Keokuk Foundation and improving the community. All of those expenditures actually funnel through the city, and the payments are made by the city, which are then reimbursed by the Keokuk Park Foundation. So thanks to the Park Foundation and all their fundraising efforts, however, that requires a budget amendment. So that's an example there. Just running down very quickly, community and economic development, very large amendment there, $871,200. A large portion of that is the Targeted Jobs Program, which is a flow-through state program through the city. Same revenues come in that go out, so it's a mere pass-through, but that required a large amendment. And several inconsequential functions, and then capital projects is another large amendment. Again, like I said, capital projects tend to flow over fiscal years, and also a few grant expenditures in there. So total amendment is roughly 2.1 million. It's not to say that all 2.1 million will actually be used. It's actually $2,149,162. But you cannot go over in any function per the state, so we give ourselves a lot of leeway so that we don't end up with an audit finding, a negative audit finding, because we've burst the budget on one of these functions. So giving appropriate amount of leeway so that we don't end up in a difficult situation. Overall, I think the city is performing exactly where the expectation is for the fiscal year. When we roll out the audit for this year, I think you'll see that it's in line with what the expectations of the council were.
All right,
That's what I got.
and now we just need a vote. Close the hearing. Oh, that's right, I need to ask you if we received any written comments.
No.
Okay, I'll close the hearing at 7:56 PM. Now we'll consider a resolution amending,
650.
I mean, 6,
Sorry.
yeah, 6:50. 7 now. Okay. Okay, consider a resolution amending the fiscal year 17-18 city budget.
Moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Oh, it was John. It was Mike and
John. John made the motion,
No, John
and
seconded.
Larry seconded.
No, I
No.
seconded.
Mike.
Somebody.
Mike made
made
it,
the motion.
yeah. You guys have to speak crisply and clearly. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, consider a resolution accepting a bid from KT Construction and Abatement in the amount of $127,200 for the demolition of 409 Main Street. A motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All right, and any discussion?
Who made the first?
Roger did.
Roger?
Hmm?
Yep.
What's the timeline on that?
Kathy, would you?
We have to wait for the 10 days to, from the DNR, and if that goes through and everything's proper, then Kevin said he would probably get on it right away.
Just
So at least 10 days, not any more problem.
Within the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Probably.
He said it would probably take anywhere from 15 to 30 days because he'd probably have to do it by hand.
Yeah.
Right.
And, yeah, and we discussed this at length in the workshop, but the demolition will be primarily a hand-done demolition just because of where the building is situated. And we also will be having to curtail traffic on the sidewalk and in at least part of the street during the demolition period, correct?
Yes.
And asbestos abatement, and it has, the cost is significantly higher because the property has deteriorated so badly that it can't be done any other way, and it just, to my mind, gives us a significant issue of getting on the dilapidated properties while we can do them more cost effectively.
Kathy, is there anything else you want to add? Thanks for being here.
No problem.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, now it's time to consider a resolution approving the initial reading of ordinance number 1983 to encourage innovation and safe use of small unmanned aircraft while addressing security and privacy concerns.
So I'd recommend no action based off of the workshop. The consensus of the council was to move forward with a work group to bring back the ordinance with a few small revisions. I will work with that group to make sure that happens and bring it back to you quickly.
Yep. Yeah, they kind of all dispersed after the workshop, but we did have some drone enthusiasts here to offer to help us look at the language to make sure that things are right for the community we live in. So we appreciate that, we really do. Okay, so I think this dies for the lack of a motion.
Correct.
All right. Next, consider a resolution approving the initial reading of ordinance number 1984, establishing a stormwater utility in the city of Keokuk.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? We'll need a roll call, please.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Dade.
Aye.
Hellenthal.
Aye.
Mortimer.
Aye.
Greenwald.
Aye.
Bryant.
Aye.
Dunning.
Aye. Do we have any committee reports from council representatives?
Just want to cover a few things under new business.
Okay. Do we have any new business or announcements?
Just under new business, I should have announced this earlier, but the live stream is actually up and functioning. So the whole council meeting was actually live streamed on the city's website. That'll be archived on the city's website. We take the stream right off of the cameras that are here. It's still, the resolution isn't fantastic, but it's out there and it's getting to the people. So I'm glad that we were able to get that into place. I think that'll be very nice to make it more accessible to people who don't have cable. Additionally, I just also wanted to mention a big kudos to Kathy. She presented at the Nuisance Abatement Conference and enlightened the whole state on her fantastic work in nuisance abatement, which is the most difficult job, I think, in the city. So I think she deserves huge kudos and a huge appreciation. She does a fantastic job, and I think that was recognized by the group she presented to, according to the people who were there. So.
Thank you. I think it's wonderful if we actually, move forward on challenges and we can share that with other folks, make their lives better too. Any other announcements?
That's all I've got.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Good evening.
Picked by the third baseman who missed the tag. Michael Franco throws to first, and the out on Tommy Pham. Third base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt said
right
the
there.
tag was missed and called it immediately. On to third base, Francisco Pena with 2 outs.
You know, you can call them out for leaving the baseline also. Now they want to take another look at it, or they're thinking about it anyway. But that's a tough call there. A really tough call. I doubt if they would even see it on the replay. But
Well,
they're
no.
going to look at it, aren't they? No, they're going to
They're going to have an
meeting.
umpire conference on this. Did he run out of the baseline? And do we have a double play to end the inning here?
The answer is going to be no. I don't think. Oh, they're going to call him out.
Running out of the
boy.
baseline.
Wow.
Double play going 5 unassisted on Pena and 5-3 on Tommy Pham.
That's
And Mike
interesting.
Matheny goes out to have a word with Larry Vanover, the crew chief, the second base umpire.
Well, he could ask for a replay if he wants. This is the first time we've seen an argument